Hello, today is my birthday, March 13, 2018. I really need to start shaving because I am I need to shave. Anyway, this is the end of the day because I did not have any time to do this morning. Aside from picking up, aside from doing all the morning stuff, I essentially got to work late today, mainly because of the traffic. There was so much traffic. It took me about 35 minutes to get to work from Vallejo, which is a very long time. And yeah, I really didn't have much time to do. Today was a pretty chill day, in a sense where I was helping my students write. And you know what's interesting? Like, I've kind of settled into this routine for teaching my students how to write. And I depend very heavily on the computers, mainly because it's a very powerful tool. I was using Google Classroom and I would put in comments and they would like change it on the fly. So instead of like sitting there when the assignment is done, I would just read it while they're working on it and we can make changes immediately. It's much more, I feel like it's much more streamlined. And I guess the one thing that was holding me back from this was just this isn't a traditional approach to writing or teaching how to write. You know, the traditional approach is you do the first draft, you turn it in, teacher grades it, you give it back. But it's 2018. I feel like that's not exactly how things are done anymore. Like, yes, the drafts are still there. Yeah. But at the same time, considering how quickly you can give feedback, it just seems like for ELD students who are learning how to write, not and they're not writing to learn here. They're learning how to write. Having this kind of access where the feedback is immediate is much more precise. Yes, you learn how to do drafts like in this grade, but at the same time though, I'm teaching them specifically not how to make drafts, but just to write. Period. And I didn't realize that until I guess like recently, where I just gave them an assignment and then they're doing it, and then I'm sitting here and I'm walking around. I'm doing a combination of both, and I give them like feedback immediately, and they can change it immediately. It's clean, it's secure, it's fast, and yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Just I felt good about today. I really felt like I really got into my students' writing without overly tiring myself and overly extending myself. And like I felt more of a facilitator today than I felt like um, a traditional teacher. I felt more like a facilitator, and that's what I actually liked. I kind of like that. I kind of like the notion of just me facilitating their writing, and it feels good. Feels good. I feel like I did something right today. Like, because I'm going home, I'm not super tired. I'm like kind of drained, but I feel like I did a good job. You know, and I think it's showing to the kids too. He knows what he's doing. He's showing us what to do, and yeah. Um, Man, I want to go home though. When I get home, new Final Fantasy 14 update came out. Something where you go into some magical island or something. I want to go to a magical island, so I was like, sure, I'll go ahead, log in, try out this whole magical island. It's called Eureka. Um, Sounds fun. Sounds magical. Magical islands, it's a magical island. And why wouldn't you want to go to a magical island? It's magic. Yeah. Yeah, magical islands. What else is there to say? Oh, I'm pretty burned out though. Oh, it's my birthday. I don't know if I mentioned that already. Um, it's been a good birthday. Okay, I'm trying to get real. I am so floored at how nice everyone has been to me for my birthday. And yesterday, my in-laws offered to take my wife and me out to dinner. And I'm used to my in-laws being like that, oh, we gotta go out. It's so and so's birthday, um, or the my niece is coming over, so please let's come on, let's go out, and that's fine. But it was never in my head, and I never held a grudge. It was just never in my head. Like, like that they would go out of their way to celebrate like something as what I consider as insignificant as my birthday. But like they actually took me out, and they drove and everything. My whole like my wife's family took me out. They let me drink, and it was a great time. And I was like, man, I feel really appreciated. Like they celebrated my birthday. They went out of their way to celebrate my birthday, and I feel special. Like I don't know. It's weird because I feel like I'm always so guarded, and like I always also feel that I don't deserve these things. And for them to do that, it meant a lot. The day before, my parents surprised me at my house, gave me a piano, dude. Like like a full working keyboard. It's like a $500 piano, one of the best pianos. This was a piano that I really wanted actually, and I was actually making plans on saving up and getting it. But I was like, oh my gosh, they got me a piano. Like my parents, like my family took the time for me, and some days I think like, man, I was a really bad son, blah blah blah. But I guess like the way they see it is probably the way I see my students. Like I look past like I look past their shortcomings and see what they've done well. And I guess, maybe this is why I'm the teacher that I am. It makes me think like my in-laws and my immediate family, they look past the stuff that I've done wrong. Mind you, as a teenager, you're a teenager. You do a lot of dumb things when you're a teenager. I mean, I teach teenagers. They do a lot of dumb things, and they look past it, and like they're seeing me as like someone they appreciate, and they know that I really wanted this. And in my head, I was like, oh my gosh, I don't deserve this. I'm just like a teacher. I could barely teach these kids. Blah blah blah. And I'm like, it just means so much. Yeah. And then the week before, my wife and I talked about it. And, we decided on getting me a laptop, and that was my gift to myself. And it's crazy just to think about that, like a gift to myself. Like this was the first major purchase I made since like maybe 2013 when I bought my original computer, and that's a lot. It feels good to know that things are starting to look up. And maybe because it's just because I'm starting to see the world at least my world, as more than just doom, gloom, and balls and chains and like things you have to do, more than work. There's something more to it. I'm starting to see it, and I don't know. I guess that's really what it is. I'm starting to see the world for more than what it is. And, I really appreciate what everyone's done for me for my birthday. But yeah. I should really start really considering not taking the stuff I have for granted, especially with being so down about it, because it's a pretty good life. It's okay. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. I'm going to go ahead and get ready to go home. And yeah, bye.